Hotel brothers and sisters, Black Power is always giving honor to the Creator, giving honor to the ancestors. Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul of the Street Law Soldiers, my father, my sister, my in-laws, my sister-in-law, my subscribers, my viewers, my donors, family members, and all of those who are fighting for the liberation and salvation of our black nation. By request, I was asked to talk about the situation with the Central Park Five, which is a very, 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 very one of the most vicious injustices that has ever taken place on the black youth, aside from the lynchings during physical and chattel slavery, and also the lynchings and murders through police terrorism up to this day today. So I want to just briefly go over the Central Park Five for those who may not know a lot of the details revolving around the Central Park Five. On April 19th, 1999, Yusef Salaam, Ray Santana, Kevin Richardson, Antoine McCrae, and Corey Wise were arrested and charged with the rape, robbery, and sexual assault and attempted murder of Trisha Ellen Mealy, who was jogging through Central Park, apparently late at night. And this is another, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So, these boys were innocent, and they were coerced, beaten, and forced to lie about their involvement in something they knew nothing about the rape and attempted murder of this white woman. Now, they always portray these white bitches as royalty. Black women are raped round the motherfucking clock, and there's nothing said by white America. White men love black women, and when they have the opportunity to rape, whether through consensual, now you can, what a lot of people don't understand, you can consent to being raped. That's what's called tricking. Nevertheless, this white dog, who was the prosecutor, Linda Fairstein, coerced police into line, tampering with evidence, suppressing evidence that would have exonerated these boys, called them all types of niggas, scum, animals, and dogs. And she just wanted to see 5 black boys arrested. She didn't give a fuck which 5 it was. And the 5 that she picked, she set them up for death. And these boys were found guilty, served between 5 and 15 years, sentenced to 5 and 15. One brother served 11 and a half, the other served an average of 6 and a half to 7 years. But Matias Reyes, who was the actual rapist, one of those Latino motherfuckers who you can agree or disagree all you want. These wetbacks, when they get alcohol in them, they love to rape, especially in the DMV, Maryland, DC, and Virginia corridor on this eastern seaboard. The average motherfucking wetback, illegal motherfucker is arrested and serving time for rape. It's something about alcohol and rape that blends with these motherfucking spicks. And you can do the research. I've done statistical research and the whole nine. And I've been incarcerated around a rack of them motherfuckers that proudly talk about how they rape white women. They prefer white women because they look at the white bitch as a prize. Like they are fucking the epitome of fucking pussy. And so once these brothers, you know, became men, and we all, for those of you who have been incarcerated, by way of show of hands, how many of you been incarcerated? Let's see. Okay, so you know when you go in there with that type of charge, you know what comes with that. A rapist and a pedophile and a assault and murder of the elderly gets no type of respect in those institutions, in any institution. And they were lucky that they weren't murdered. I'm quite sure they were extorted to the nth degree. However, it's not for them to publicly, you know, speak on, you know, the grim and grave details of what may have happened to maybe one or two of them. And you can tell the ones who had a rough time and those who were innocent and stood up like real men, because they had to grow up in the institutions. They were children when they were arrested. And this white bitch, Linda Fairstein, did not give a fuck if they were children. All she wanted to do was get accolades, all types of awards, and come-ups in the judicial circle, in the political ring, from the mayor and the governor of New York. That's all this white bitch was concerned with. She didn't give a fuck about these little children going to prison. If it took them for this bitch to move up the ladder, then so be it. And the victim, Trisha Ella Mealy, lied as well. See, this is how crackers do. This is how they do. When they're caught in lies, they either avoid you, try these weak fucking apologies, or make up some goddamn excuse. And it was no excuse. You mean to tell me this bitch, if she was raped 5 motherfucking times, that she couldn't get a positive ID of at least one of them? To her, all niggas looked alike. And why would you go jogging at nighttime anyway? Unless you are looking to be fucking taken advantage of. And see, that is a come up too. It's one of the harshest ways to get a come up, but a lot of them do that. Desiree Tyson did it to Mike Tyson. Desiree Washington did it to Mike Tyson. You know, that other bitch did it to Tupac. You know, and that's a come up for these dogs. Nevertheless, you know, 1997, they were released and proclaimed they're innocent. But Donald Trump paid nearly $500,000 to post a campaign ad to execute these boys. He was running a campaign to the governor to reinstill the death penalty and put these boys to death for nothing. And today, that wig wearing faggot, this orange motherfucker, I never seen an orange motherfucking Aryan, or orange cracker. You know, that lets you know something is, he has so many goddamn medical situations. He is a defective motherfucking piece of ice age. And he sticks to his story to this day. Even though these boys were exonerated, these young men were exonerated, he still insists that they were guilty. This is how the cracker is. And this bitch, Linda Fairstein, had all these book deals and became a author and all this shit. See, this was a come up for this dog, this German Shepherd looking bitch. But now it backfired. Netflix, all of them, since the Netflix put the miniseries out, which Ava DuVernay, who I respect, who I highly respect, put the real When They See Us. That's the original and the most realest miniseries that has been out. Because see, when that cracker, I forgot his name, Ken Burns or whatever his name is, put out the Central Park 5 documentary, that was a piece of shit. That was a straight up piece of shit. But Ava DuVernay, when she put the miniseries out, that sparked flames in the black, and some of us, not all of us, because you got some niggas that think these boys are still guilty. You have some niggas, Sheriff David Clark and motherfucking niggas like that think these boys are guilty when they've been exonerated. See, niggas like David Clark, who has a white house pet called his wife, sees any violation towards a white bitch is a violation towards all white people. And this is a nigga. This is a cowboy hat, straw chewing, tobacco chewing motherfucking nigga who is a disgrace to black people. And I'm going to stop using that term black community. I'm going to work on not using that term black community, because we have no community. We have hoods, not even neighborhoods, because we don't conduct ourselves like neighbors. And the people that pretend to be our neighbors are our oppressors. We live in white communities. The hood is a white community predominantly populated by blacks. Because the community has its own post office, has its own stores, its own police force, own banks, grocery stores, retail surplus stores and the like, auto dealerships, airports. We don't own none of that shit where we live. So we're occupying, we living in a white community populated by the majority of blacks. And we're nothing but consumers in our own motherfucking living rooms. We're nothing but consumers and prisoners in our own living rooms. Because everywhere you step is somebody that doesn't look like you, that you have to pay money to survive where you live. And you motherfuckers don't see that as a problem. You motherfuckers don't see that as a dilemma, as a crisis, as an immediate situation. This is an urgent situation. This is why shit like this happens. This Central Park shit. But anyway, Linda Fairstein lost all her book deals and talk about it's a disgrace and all of this is a conspiracy against her and all this shit. See, what I don't get is how you allow these people to continue to function, continue to make millions of dollars in the so-called black community. This is what I don't understand. So, and so that's why I give respect to Ava DuVernay. You know, she has a good resume with Queen Sugar and various other movies and shows. Selma, and you know, she made it more realistic than anyone thus far in terms of trying to give these brothers some justice. And they only got they didn't get half or nearly as much in compensation as they were supposed to receive. Now, Michael B. Jordan, who played in Killmonger in the Black Panther, played Creed and a whole bunch of other movies. He played Oscar Grant in Fruitvale Station. He conducted and put together a dinner and a banquet to award Yusef Salaam and the Central Park Five with awards for being such stand-up brothers. Now, don't get it twisted. They may say publicly, and when they are being conducted, being interviewed on various television shows, that they have this overwhelming level of forgiveness for the people that attempted to lay them down. But for real, they don't. This is just what they supposed to say on the camera. Well, not supposed to say, but that's their method of dealing with the situation. If it was me, I would be telling the truth. I would want these motherfuckers' heads on a plate, knowing that it will never happen. What I would do was use a very, very powerful strategy, which is to rebuild the black community. This is the importance of having a black community. Situations like this would never exist. Police terrorism would never exist. Now, if you have a black police force and black people occupying their own communities, these crackers would not come in the black community and execute our brothers and sisters, knowing they're gonna get their caps peeled, knowing they're gonna get their shit pushed back. But see, as long as they have the green light from Adolf Trump to literally inflict whatever type of pain or torture or death to anyone of color, because there will be nothing done about it. Let's give an example. All of these brothers and sisters that have been murdered, name one time where the Nation of Islam responded and marched in the streets ready to tear these motherfuckers up. Malcolm's Nation of Islam would have done it. Elijah's Nation of Islam would have done it. The Black Panthers. Huey's Black Panthers would have done it. Fred Hampton's Black Panthers would have done it. Khalid Muhammad's Black Panthers would have done it, in which he did. He walked into Jasper, Texas, and ran them motherfucking hillbillies and crackers and sheriff's departments into hiding. This was when they drugged the brother James Byrd on the back of a truck, and his head popped off. This was in 1998. So Hotep and Black Power to Dr. Khalid. The NAACP would have, if they were under the tutelage, no, they would never have done nothing. All they do is talk. Now, this SNCC would have done something under Brother Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture.
Music Premium. You get official albums, music videos, and more.
They would have done something. But that would have been the extent of it. The Garvey movement would have done something. Carlos Cook's movement would have done something. So now that these groups, so-called black leaders, have been extinguished and have been watered down and under the control of white supremacy. You know, for example, the Nation of Islam is now in conjunction with Scientology, which is a total fucking shame. Now, personally, I have nothing against the Nation of Islam, its organization, its members, because they only can do what they are instructed to do. And that's it. They only can do what they are instructed to do. So, I've heard a brother tell me, when will they stand up? At what point will they stand up? At this part of the game, they will probably never stand up. They will wait on a speech. You know, you pay $500 to $1,000 to fly to see Minister Farrakhan make a speech that now has no substance. It's just all air. When these brothers are supposed to be marching in the streets. And then the community, black people, will support them. Will buy the bean pies and the final calls and support them. And membership will rise if they know, if our young brothers know that they are with an organization that has with the membership as high as the nation's, that will fight for any injustices when it comes to our people. Membership will be sky high. And then you're talking about a decrease in drug use. You're talking about a decrease in crime. You're talking about a decrease in criminal thinking of the black youth. No longer will Jordans and flossing and having ice and making it rain in the club be a priority. The priority would be getting suited and booted, getting your bow tie on, marching and standing up with your weapon. And so, which all these things are you know, these things are choreographed. In other words, people are being paid to turn it, to look the other way. People are being turned to look the other way. Just like this past weekend, they had this gay shit, this gay pride bullshit in D.C. where they take a day to honor cock-sucking faggots and cunt-licking motherfucking women. That they have a day. They have a day, Cancer Awareness Week, Cancer Awareness Month. They have a day for mental health awareness. But there's never a day to combat substance abuse in the black community. There's never a day to eliminate mass incarceration. There's never a day to have a worldwide job fair for people of color, for the black youth. Because it is designed like this for our destruction. And as long as you have accepted being nothing and being reduced to nothingness, then all is well. See, this is what we are taught, to comply with the police. Do whatever they say do, because the object is to make it back home. That means if he decides he wants to sodomize you, call himself looking for a weapon, but really grabbing the meat gun. That's the weapon he's really looking for. Because most white policemen, and I'm saying most, have homosexual, bisexual tendencies. They envy the black man's dick. And so being pissed off because you have a little pink water gun compared to a big black fucking machine gun develops a inferiority complex within the mind of that motherfucker that has the pink water gun. And so that inferiority turns into hatred. So you despise what you don't have. Y'all have to understand where I'm coming. Y'all have to understand where I'm going with this. Because a lot of you, some of you are slow and you know, and it's okay. And it's okay. But a lot of you won't watch this. You won't pay this close attention. This video close attention. Some of you watch it just for the sake to say you watch it to satisfy either myself or the street law soldiers. And when you're in that mindset, I prefer you not to even fucking watch it. But it's a lot of you, primarily my subscribers. I don't have time to name all of you that I know that pays a close attention to what is said in these videos. But this is the situation and plight that we are facing and dealing with today. This is why we don't have shit. We've been trained to just look out for self. Fuck your brother, fuck your mother, fuck your father, fuck your children. This is how we've been trained. And it's always been like this since physical chattel slavery, where the black man is always ostracized. During slavery, he was kicked off the plantation because the object was to replace him with a surrogate rapist father called the overseer and the slave master. This is how Section 8 originated. But that's another subject for another time. And so when you take the man out of the equation, the family equation, and you get the children to turn against the father, not only do the children turn against their father, but they turn against all black men, period. Because you have a lot of black lesbians that are endorsing the hate, endorsing to the children of their lovers the disrespect and hatred of their biological father. And just like this day, that gay pride shit really promoted it. You know, the chicks with dicks posse and, you know, the men are girls too crew and all this bullshit. You know, like I told y'all, they had a motherfucking cracker with no underwear on walking down the street with a cape and strapped sandals on with a Julius Caesar helmet with a police motorcycle escort. And see, this is modern day Rome in Washington, D.C. And we're gonna talk about some other things later, brothers and sisters. But for right now, just marinate on the things that I've been talking to you all about. And if you have any questions, comments, please feel free to drop your comments in the comment box. And as always, your donations or whatever, clothing, food, anything will help us combat homelessness, poverty, and starvation in the black community. Hotep, Black Power.